Well, hey everyone, my name is Mike Bechtold, one of the pastors at First Covenant Church here in Red Wing, Minnesota. I recently shared just some of our live stream testing I've been building from scratch. Never done this before, trying to figure it out, researching, building from scratch the ability for our church to do live streaming starting this Sunday. And so I wanted to share with you how I did it because I had a number of you asking me what tools we're using and so forth. So here is kind of the entire instruction video for you, as well as I've got some links down in the description of this video so that way you can use it so be it if you wanted to. Some of you may be experts and you're like, oh, there's such simpler ways to do that. I would love to know the answers to that, but for now, for those of you who are kind of in the same place as I am trying to figure it out, I think we're on to something here, and so here's how I did it. All right, so we are using a couple of different systems. All of it is being run through my laptop here. We are using YouTube Live as our means to project it out to our congregation. I am also using a software called OBS Studio, which is what helps us gather the content, then projects it to YouTube Live, and I'll explain that in a second. And then we are also running ProPresenter. Some of you might have ProPresenter, some of you may have PowerPoint, some maybe MediaShout, whatever, but it's our way. What we typically do would display it on our screen up there. And so we're using that same system because you need, for what I have set up, a second monitor or a second display. And so for now, I have here next to me a second monitor. So whatever is being projected from ProPresenter, typically what was on the screens is now here on this monitor to help me see that. So what I did was, in YouTube Live, you set up by going up here to create a new video and then go live. And then you want to click, you might end up on webcam, but you actually want to go to stream, and then you'll create a new stream. If you've done this before, it's actually best to copy and paste if you're setting this up for a new week because it keeps all the codes, and I'll explain that in a second. And so I've got a video already set up here for us. And so I created this live stream example for you. You can import when you set up different images, so you can change your thumbnail. One of the things to pay attention to, yes, if it's made for kids, no, if it's not, just know if you do make it for kids, it does not allow for chat to be used on your YouTube video, so just be aware about that. But then you can also schedule when your video is going to go live. So, you know, say you're going to do Sunday at 10, you could put the date and then put the time, and what happens is, if you were to show up before you actually go live, you would see a video, and so up here is the link, and you can actually, this is the link you would send your congregation. So it's up here at the top after you've created your video. But if you were to actually go to that link, this is what they would see. And so you can see that, you know, there's a countdown timer, and I created this graphic which basically lets people know you're in the right spot, it's coming soon. And so this is what it will look like until you legitimately click the Go Live button. Okay, and so once you get this YouTube live streaming set up, all you have left to do is to make sure you copy the key. And so down here, you'll get a stream key. You might also get a pop-up window when you first set it up where you can copy it as well, but you're going to copy that key, and then this is where you go over to OBS. And so in OBS, you go up to File, Settings, and then Stream. And then here you set up the settings, so you select Service YouTube, and then you put that stream key in there, and then when you close it and save it, it'll automatically read to YouTube. And you'll know it's working because when there is no stream key, this will just be blank. There won't be anything in the screen. But because it is now recognizing that there is a connection, right? There's a connection, you see this, and it's all set, ready to go. All right? So you're all set to go. All you need to do is hit live when you are ready. Long story short, that's part one. So part two now is actually setting up OBS to work with you. So I'm going to step back a little bit to show you our current setup. So we've got a webcam. This webcam is not the best. We're actually trying to figure out a better solution for us, but this is what we have for now, and I'll explain why. But we've got our webcam set up, and this goes into the USB on our laptop. we also have this audio box. So we have an X32 mixer in the back of our sanctuary, which currently is what we run all of our sound through. And that is actually coming into this box via this XLR, and then out the back to USB into my computer. And so that becomes my audio interface. And this allows us to use all of our microphones, all of our plugins from our sound system, and it gets pushed straight into my computer, which gives the best audio quality we could get. And so you set up your computer to have that happen, and then what we did in OBS is we have this one here. You create a scene. Scenes basically allow you to have different kind of options, but we just set up a basic one that said ProPresenter Live, and then we are choosing, when you set up we do a display culture, and the display culture allows you to pick which display you have set up. So I'm going to tell it to pick what is on my second display. So whatever is on this screen is what's going to be read on this source. And so now there it is all set up. You can adjust your audio quality for my inputs. I made sure I selected the right input. I recommend too that you mute all the other channels that might be embedded, because otherwise you'll get some looping issues. And then from this point out, this OBS system is all set up because it's connected to the YouTube. You've got your display set up. So when you are ready to go, all you got to do is click here. Right now I already have it running live, but when you click Start Streaming, it'll automatically connect, and then again you'll come over here to YouTube and you'll see it pop up in this window. There is a 20-second delay, 30-second delay between what you do here and what is actually here on YouTube, all right? But OBS should be set up now to run your live version to YouTube. So then the last thing you need to do is set up your presentation software. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. For us, we are using, ProPresenter has a built-in live camera feed. And so what we are proposing to do is we are going to use this. Again, we need to get a better camera. Right now there's a really nasty green tint to it. But when you use a live feed, it allows us to actually display, there's that ugly green, display what the webcam is seeing, and then we can overlay other things. So the live camera is still running in the background, but now we've got our looping slides. So when we go live, we can have some background music, and then these slides are kind of channeling through the system. And so to kind of show you that, I will go over here. And so now we are ready to go. We will go live. And so now this is what people would be seeing if they were to go to that link. And so again, it would take a couple seconds. You'll see here, there's that 30-second delay. And then this timer, when it kicks in, that timer would disappear. So now you can see it is live. There is that delay. But now let's go back to ProPresenter. Everything is running live. When we are ready to go, I've got a couple systems set up to clear the screen except for what is live. And so then you can set up different settings within ProPresenter. Now I'm not sure how well it would work with MediaShout or with even PowerPoint, but for us, we have this set up so that way it allows us to have an overlay of the words in the text. So I'll come over here so you can kind of see what they would see on the live. And so this allows us to still sing songs. Remember, you need to have the streaming license to sing and display words on a live stream. You can get that from CCLI as an addition. But this allows us then to sing. You can still see the people in the background where the microphone is. Hopefully get a keyboard up there for us. And so that's the words for songs. Now when it comes to doing sermon slides, we still do import PowerPoint, but every other slide we have the same system that clears the screen. So what happens is when you click this, it gets rid of that bottom banner, right? And now say, okay, we're going to do this new series. And so these images that pastor would use for his sermons, every other one allows you to go back and forth. And so if you, say, had a Bible text, you can put that up, and then when you're ready to go back to the live version to see pastor talking, it goes back. And so this is our way of doing an every other system to switch back and forth between the video and the slide image. So that way things can be nice and big on the text. And then we have a couple closing announcements at the end, so that way we can mute all channels except for the looping slide, just a way to end it. And then when you are done, you go back first to your YouTube live channel, this channel here, and then you want to go end stream, and then click end. And so then you shouldn't have to touch any of this, but what's going to happen is this recording will then be put in your studio. And so if you go to videos and go to live, you'll see it show up right here. As soon as here it is right here, live replay. So that is a way for people to be a part of the video. It should record the whole service so they can go back and watch it. And then once you're done with that, go back to OBS and then stop streaming. Now, it's very important to make your life simple. The next time you go to record a video for your next week's live streaming, when you go live, make sure you do the copy and create, because it's asking you, say, do you want to use your last settings? Say yes, because it automatically, OBS will keep that key. Remember, you have to go to settings, and then this YouTube stream key. The key will be the same if you copy it over, so you don't have to mess with those settings, all right? As well as all the other things that you've set up will work for that. There are some other ways to use OBS. Let me show you that real quick in case you're curious. So another way to use OBS, we created another scene here where you can do like a picture-in-picture. And so it allows you then to kind of reposition things on the screen or do side-by-side stuff. So this, again, is the screen. So you have that same concept of a display culture, but then you add a video device. So this is going to be our backup plan if we cannot get the green tint to go away in ProPresenter. We can still have the video. We can adjust the size of it and where it's positioned on the screen. But then we would have this overlay of the sermon slides, and we can try to squish it down or do whatever we need to do to make it fit. And you can turn this off by simply clicking the eye icon. And so it'll come on and then it'll come back. So that's another alternative. If you don't have the ability to use ProPresenter Live, you can build within OBS different options, and you can do that by clicking the plus, and then it gives you a whole list of different ideas to utilize here. So once again, if you have questions, give me a holler. If you have other ideas, feel free to send me a message as well. And I pray that all of you will just be able to figure this out, and blessings to you as we kind of change how we do ministry and how we preach the gospel in this season of life. So blessings to you guys.